Hi friends, today we are going to discuss about a very important topic. Recent time in all the social media they are discussing about this one. Even in our India, all the medias are discussing about this one, which is the US Congress is going to pass a bill which stops the H1B. So it creates a lot of discussion and lot of noises. We are going to discuss about what is really going to happen, whether this bill pass in both the chambers, what are the possibilities, and also very important topic. Recent times we are seeing uscis processing time is decreases drastically. It's very good news for our Indians because H1B, H4, H4 EADs and L1, L2s are getting approved very faster than earlier. We are hearing from so many people. These things we are going to discuss with our attorney Henry, and he is from Manifest Law Firm, and Manifest Law Firm is giving a free consultation. Just scan this QR code and get your consultation totally free. You can ask any question about your visa or green card or anything. Hi Henry, thanks for your time. Today we are going to discuss about the very important topic, and a lot of people are discussing about this one. Recent bill which creates a lot of chaos among the non-immigrant visa applicants. Pause on H1B visas for 3 years. I don't know what is the bill saying and what are the possibilities, but I would like to have a word with you. Thank you Henry for your time. Vanakkam.
வணக்கம் பிரேம்.
எப்படி இருக்கீங்க?
நல்லா இருக்கேன். நீங்க?
Yeah, I'm good, Henry. Let's go back to the topic. So, what is this bill saying, Henry?
Basically, one of the congressional representatives has introduced a bill in Congress that would pause all new H1Bs for 3 years, and then after 3 years, reduce the annual numbers from 65,000 to 25,000. And other things that are included in the bill are no more adjustment of status, meaning that you have to do consular processing if you're on an H1B. Also, stopping OPT program altogether, getting rid of the H1B lottery and making it only a ranked system based on salaries, and setting a minimum salary for H1B jobs is 200,000 per year. So there's a lot of different things in that bill, and it's very strong language. But what I want to tell everybody, and what I want all your fans to know about, is that you don't have to worry, because this is not going anywhere, right? This is not going to become law. A lot of people are mixing up proposed rulemaking for regulations and proposed bills in Congress, right? These are two very different processes. If DHS issues a new proposed rule, then there is a comment period, and then there are some edits to the draft, and then it becomes a regulation, meaning it actually becomes law. And there's not an issue of who's going to vote for it or against it, or if this is a good idea. But when Congress has a bill, every year they introduce something like 10 or 15,000 different bills, and only a few hundred of them become law, right? So there's maybe a 3% chance of a bill to become law when it's introduced. The main reason for introducing a bill is more like marketing for the politician. You know, the politician introduces a bill just so they can go on social media or on the TV and tell everybody that, look, I am introducing a bill that is against immigration. But it doesn't actually mean that there is a realistic chance for this to become law, because both chambers of Congress would have to vote yes for this bill, and that is not happening with this one for sure, right? This is just, the language is too strong. There is no way that they have the support that they need. So everybody can just take a deep breath, relax, no need to panic, because this is not happening.
Yeah, so I can see a lot of news sharing regarding this one on the news media, mainly for the social medias. Even in India, there are a lot of news channels, the big news channels covering this one. But when I just see the news, I thought the same. So because it has to be passed through the Senate as well, and Senate requires the 60 votes, right?
Yeah, exactly. And they don't have a big enough majority at all to pass this. And even if it was a Republican majority, then it's not even clear that every Republican senator would say yes to this. So the Senate would have to say yes, and then the House of Representatives would have to say yes, and then it would go to the president, and the president would sign. But even in the very first stage, what happens is a bill goes from the politician who proposes it, goes to a committee. It doesn't even go for a vote. It goes to a committee, and then most bills never even make it from the committee into the whole Senate or the whole House of Representatives, because there's just not enough support for something like this.
Okay, so whether this bill passed through the committee or it's still under the review of the committee?
It hasn't passed out of the committee yet.
Okay.
A lot of bills never even get voted on in the committee because in each separate committee there is a chairman, somebody who is the leader of that committee, and only bill proposals that they pick from the list get for a vote. And then if it gets enough votes in the committee, then it goes out to the House of Representatives for a debate and then a vote. And usually most proposals, they just don't even get out of the committee. So I really don't think this is going anywhere. This does seem to be more like a campaign show from the politicians who basically are sponsoring this, because the midterm elections are coming,
Right.
and all of the House of Representative members are starting their campaigns to get votes. So this is a way for them to show their constituents that, look, we are trying something. We are trying to get a bill to stop the H1B. It doesn't matter that it's not realistic. They just want to show something that they are doing their jobs.
Thank you so much, Henry, because you clearly explained how any bill become a law, and you just clearly explained what is the difference between any policy changes or any bill. So we can understand. So this bill never passed through. It has to go through long way. And I have other question also, because a lot of people asking this question, whether they can apply the extension of the EAD before 6 months.
Unfortunately, no. The regulation says that the earliest you can apply is 180 days before your existing EAD expires. So if you do send in the 765 earlier than 6 months, most likely the mailroom would just send it back to you with a rejection notice saying that it's too early for you. Worst case scenario would actually be that they accept the case and then they deny it, saying that it's too early, because then you also lose the filing fee. But I think most likely would be that they just send the paperwork back to you and say that come back in a few months.
Okay, thanks, Henry. And a lot of people confirm in the recent days when they are sending as a bundle, like say example, if they want to do the H1B transfer or any extension, they are trying to send it everything as a bundle, H1B extension and H4 and H4 EAD as a premium bundle. And now they are saying they are getting approved H4 and H4 EAD quicker than earlier. So is it really happening something, or?
I haven't heard anything officially from USCIS of a change of rules or policy, but I am hearing those reports as well. So it seems to be just good news that USCIS does not have to treat the H4 stuff as a premium on the same timeline with the H1. But if they are doing it faster than usual, then that's a good sign. Always happy to celebrate if there's some good news for the applicants.
Yeah, exactly. Because earlier, just like 4 or 5 months before, a lot of people saying like, I was waiting for so many months for the H4 and H4 EAD. I never get the H4 EAD. So I just have the job loss and I'm just waiting for the H4 EAD. But nowadays, it's quicker than earlier. That is really a very good news. Are you recommending always go with the premium for this situation?
I would, because I have several cases of H1Bs where there's no bundle, but just even regular H1B with no premium. And I've seen cases take 10 months. Whereas, last year H1B without premium used to be, 6 months or less. And even the H1s themselves are taking longer. So if you are going to bundle together the H4 EAD and everything, then I would say just go for the premium processing for the H1B.
Correct. And also nowadays, almost everyone saying like whenever they are going for the H4 EAD extension, the biometric become mandate, and they are sending so many mails to the people with the biometric appointment. So nowadays we can expect most of the people for the biometric appointment for H4 EAD.
Yes, absolutely, because they've shortened the time for how long ago did you last do your biometrics and what are they going to reuse, right? So if you did your biometrics several years ago, they're no longer wanting to reuse that same information. They want to do new biometrics, and that means that almost everybody is getting a notice nowadays to do biometrics.
As applicant, they don't want to schedule anything, right? USCIS will schedule the biometric appointment and they will send the receipt notice to the applicants, right?
Yeah, so they will send you the appointment time, and then that means that they expect you to come at the time that they've scheduled for you. I would say if at all possible, just go on the time that they give you rather than asking for a different time, because all that is going to cause more delay. Also, it could get your case denied if they say you didn't have a good enough reason for a reschedule, right? So only reschedule or ask for a reschedule if there's a serious emergency that prevented you from attending the set appointment time.
So, and also one more thing I noticed, they are asking the biometric only for the H4 AD. So H4 got approved without biometrics. So H4 doesn't, just like a standalone H4 doesn't require any biometrics, right?
Correct. The biometrics is attached to the EAD application, not to the H4 extension.
Thanks, Henry. You shared a lot of details today. Thank you so much.
Of course, my pleasure.
Nandri.
Nandri.